Okay. We get to start it. I'm gonna make the Mamma Mia meatball. Okay, so before we go too far, I just want to point out, I always wash my hands when I'm out in the kitchen working, and I wash them. I could wash them 10-15 times while I'm working. I just, whenever I feel the need to stop, I stop and go wash my hands. My hands were always clean. What I have here is about, I'm gonna guess 2 pounds maybe a little bit more in total, of ground beef and ground pork. The ground beef, try not to buy it lean because you want some fat in it, because that's where a lot of the flavor comes from. So I buy mine, I believe it's a medium, and I think that's in around 20% fat, 80% ground beef, something like that. Okay, so we're going to start adding our ingredients. Now, some of the ingredients that you see out here are for this, and some are for the sauce. Okay, so we're going to start here. We're going to need 2 eggs to go into our meatball mixture. We're going to need about cup and a half of the breadcrumbs. I don't know if I'm going to use all of this, but let's just see how it looks. Oh yeah, might as well. It's about a cup and a half. We want to add, I think this is the cheese, the Parmesan cheese. Yep, it is. I'm going to add about maybe, let's see, this is probably a good half a cup anyway. So I don't know if I'll add all of it, but let's just see how it looks. Yeah, okay, half a cup. I didn't actually measure it, but it's about a half a cup. And in here we have probably at least a 1/4 cup of garlic powder. I don't want to add all of that. Oh, looks like I almost did. Okay, so about a 1/4 cup of garlic powder. And here I probably have way more pepper than I need, but like I said, some of it's going to be for the sauce. So this is a 1/2 teaspoon measurement thing, so I'm just going to try to see how much I need here. I should have done that with the Parmesan cheese as well, but too late now. Alright, so that's a 1 teaspoon. I put 1 teaspoon of pepper. Okay, and in here we have the salt. And again, I've got about a teaspoon here. Okay, so maybe just a touch more. Okay. So about a teaspoon, maybe just a touch more. And in here we have, I don't have fresh parsley, so I'm going to be using the dried parsley. And in here I got probably a half a cup, but let's see how much I'm going to put into our mixture. That's 1 teaspoon. That's 2 teaspoons. Okay, so 3 teaspoons we'll use. Okay, now, oh, some fresh garlic. Now in here I've chopped up a whole bulb of garlic, but the bulbs weren't very big. So let me just see here. That's about 1. 2. I'm just going to put about 2 teaspoons, maybe a little bit more. I think I put everything there except for this. This is something new I'm going to be trying out today. It's a garlic paste, or puree paste. They're basically the same. So this is a garlic puree. Never tried it, but I think I will today. Give it a little stir. And I'll have to read the bottle after to see if I refrigerate this when I'm done, or if it could go in the pantry. Okay, so I'm going to put 2 of those, 2 teaspoons. Now I was reading up on this, and it says each teaspoon is about equal to 1 good size, 1 large garlic clove. Now my cloves were quite small because the bulb was small, so the amount that I put there was 2 teaspoons, so it'd probably be close to the whole little bulb. Maybe we'll say half. Let me show you. Let me show you how big my garlic bulbs are. They're really small. Okay? It's really small. So by putting that paste, that would be 2 teaspoons. Yeah, I would say at least half of that garlic. Okay? Alright, now I just want to put the cover on that, put it out of the way. So whatever calls for garlic, if you happen to be out of garlic or something, and you happen to have this, well, you can substitute it with this here if you don't have fresh garlic. Or if you want to add a little extra for the flavoring or whatever, add a teaspoon or 2. It smells good. It smells like the garlic, but like I said, that's your choice if you add it or not. Now, I think we are about ready. You can add that to your sauce or whatever you're adding your normal garlic to. It'd probably go well in if you're making a garlic spread. You know, the spread that you would put over bread or toast or bagels, over baguette or French bread, you know? I didn't add, shoot. Figures as soon as I stick my hands in here. A little bit of milk. Maybe a quarter cup or something would be good. That's probably good there. So the milk and eggs help to keep it moist. And the egg is the glue to hold the meatball together. So when you're mixing like this, if you're feeling it being too dry filling, not sticking, you can either add another egg or add a little milk. But make sure you get it all nice and mixed together. So I squish and twist. Twist and squish. Oh, my hand always gets so cold doing this. And then before I start making the actual meatball, I go wash my hands so there I can warm it up. Okay, so we're going to start making the meatball. I want to make them about the size of golf balls, maybe a little smaller. Now when you take your meat, you don't want to squish it up tight in your hand because you're going to wind up with a really hard meatball ball. We don't want that. So you just kind of bringing it together, okay, into a circle, into a round ball, but we're not squishing it, okay? And they don't have to be all the exact same size, but you do want them to be kind of close in size that they cook at the same time. So and then once these are done, you can use them for anything. Like you can freeze these, save them for another day. You can use them in meatball subs. You can use them in a spaghetti and meatball. Maybe you just want to have a dish of meatballs and sauce. You know, whatever you like to have the meatballs in. And after a while, when you get kind of used to making the meatball, you get the feel for how much you got in your hand, and you basically know if it's enough or not enough. So you're making them all about the same size. You want to roll them enough so that they stay together when you're while you're cooking them. And if you do want big meatballs, then you know, I suggest making them all big or make them all small. Or if you're going to do like big ones and small ones, when you go to cook them, then cook all the big ones at one time, then cook all the small ones at one time. Or like in batches, but don't throw big ones and little ones in the same pan or pot at the same time, because they're not going to cook evenly. See, I'm not, it might look like I'm squishing them really hard, but I'm not. I'm just pushing the meat together. So it makes it easier to roll it into this ball. So sometimes when I'm making them, I might add the tiniest little bit extra, or you might see me taking the tiniest bit out of my hand. It's because, like, I don't need my eyes to tell me if I have these meatballs all but basically the same size, because my hands tell me. Yeah, I think I said I got about I'm thinking I probably might have 2.5 pounds. Now that I'm with all these meatballs, I'm thinking it might be more closer to 2.5 pounds of meat that I have between the ground beef and the lean, and the between the ground pork and the ground beef. I think I might have a little bit more than 2 pounds. Could be 2.5. And seeing that it's cooked. My pile's getting up there. I gotta be careful that one doesn't roll off there, roll off the table and roll down the floor and roll out the door. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 49. 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57. Got 57 meatballs. Alright, so I'm going to go wash my dish and wash my hands at the same time. Washing the dish so that when I start cooking, I'd have some place to put the cooked ones. So, I have it on saute. I use the adjust button to get it to go on to normal. So that's going to start heating up. Extra virgin olive oil. Okay, now I'm just going to put a couple of tablespoons in the bottom there. I'm going to use this spoon here because as things stick, I can lift off those stuck pieces of delicious flavoring. I think that's good for now. I don't want to overfill it because it'll make it too hard to turn the meatballs without breaking them. I'm going to put a paper towel down here to help soak up some of the grease. Now before I put my next batch on, I want to scrape up some of that burnt stuff. And the best way to do that, whether you're on your stove or on Instant Pot or whatever, is you add a little bit of water, let it come to a boil, and then it'll start, and then use something with it that you can scrape. So a flat whisk or the end of your spoon or something like that, and that'll help it to release off the pan much easier. Then you can just let the steam let it evaporate. At least then the burnt stuff is up off the top, so it's kind of ready for the next batch. As long as you have most of it up, you don't have to have everything up. Now we're still going to be using the pot to cook. But before we start doing our sauce, we want to make sure it's all finished. We'll go right up about 3 minutes. So if you're doing these in a frying pan on your stove, I would use about medium heat. And still doing the same thing, not adding a whole bunch. You don't want to overcrowd them. When you try and turn them, they'll start breaking. So I'm just going to put another layer of paper towel here to catch the grease off the grease lines. So that was about 5 minutes. Ooh, we're getting so much nice, yummy, crispy stuff burnt to the bottom. So that just adds to the meatballs, and you can just have all this yumminess to add to your sauce. Another way you can also cook the meatballs is if you put them all on a cookie sheet, put them in your oven at about temperature 400, 15 to 20 minutes, take them out, kind of move them around a little bit, if they look like, maybe cut one in half, if it looks like it still needs a little more time, put it back in, or it should finish cooking when it's in with the sauce. But it is another way that you'll have your nice crisp brown. And then you get all the nice little bits. Shake that off your napkin.